Weekends aren't really meant for cleaning. I know that probably sounds a little backwards. But honestly, I used to spend my entire Sunday scrubbing, organizing, putting things away. And by the end of the day, the house still felt messy, I was completely wiped out, and my mind felt even more cluttered than when I started. So I changed my approach. Instead of trying to do everything all at once and burning out, I broke it down into 7 small, clear tasks. One thing at a time, and with each one, I felt lighter. What I love about it is that you don't have to deep clean every corner or make everything look perfect. Just spend 2 or 3 hours spread throughout the day, focus on the areas that usually get messy, and that's enough. Everything I'm sharing today is something I've actually tried myself, and you can do it too starting today. If your weekends usually feel like a blur of laundry, cleaning, kids, and deadlines, this video is for you. If you're heading into the weekend with a cluttered house and a cluttered head, not knowing where to begin, these 7 steps might be exactly what you need. So let's go through them together, one small step at a time. You know what I found really helpful when I don't know where to start? I pick the one spot I see the most. That's it. Not a whole room, just one surface that bugs me every time I walk by. For me, it used to be the dining table. No matter how much I tried to clean other things, that table would always end up buried under bags, mail receipts, stuff the kids dropped off. And every time I looked at it, I felt like the whole house was falling apart. So one day I just decided, forget everything else, I'm just gonna fix this one spot. If you're feeling overwhelmed too, try that. Look around and pick the surface your eyes land on first. Maybe it's the kitchen counter. Maybe it's that one chair where everything gets dumped. Maybe it's your nightstand. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it bothers you a little every time you see it. Once you've picked it, set a timer for 15 or 20 minutes. That's all we're doing here. Take everything off, give it a quick wipe, and then only put back what truly belongs. You don't need to organize it perfectly or make it Pinterest pretty. You just need it to feel calm when you look at it. The first time I tried this, I was surprised how different it made me feel. I'd walk past that clean table and think, okay, at least this is done. And that little bit of relief, that's where the energy to keep going comes from. So don't worry about the whole house. Don't even think about the next step. Just pick that one spot you see the most and clear it. That's enough for today. And honestly, that's a really good start. But before we move on to the next step, I've got something exciting coming up in the next video. I'll be showing you how I stay on top of my cleaning throughout the week with quick, manageable tasks that keep everything tidy without feeling overwhelmed. We'll start with some easy tasks for the bathroom and other high-traffic areas that tend to get messy. These are simple steps you can follow even on your busiest days. But for now, let's go back to today's topic and continue with step 2. Once I've cleared that first surface, the spot I see the most, I don't jump into deep cleaning or sorting just yet. The next thing I do is a quick sweep around the house. Nothing fancy. I just grab a trash bag or a laundry basket and walk through every room for about 15 to 20 minutes. The goal is simple: pick up anything that's clearly trash or doesn't belong where it is. Start with the obvious stuff. Wrappers, receipts, empty bottles, broken pens, old packaging, used tissues, tags from clothes. Little things that somehow land on counters, under couches, or in your bag and never make it to the trash. You'd be surprised how much of that is just sitting there once you start looking. Then move on to items that aren't trash but are in the wrong place, like a pair of socks in the kitchen, a cup in the bathroom, a hairbrush on the dining table, a toy car under the couch, that one hoodie that's been living on the back of the chair all week. This is the stuff that creates background noise in your home without you even realizing it. And just to be clear, you're not organizing these things yet. You're not putting them away one by one. For now, just collect them in the basket. That's it. Get them out of sight, out of the way, and let your brain relax a little. I call this a reset sweep because it really does reset how the space feels. It's kind of like clearing the stage before you start rearranging anything. When all that random clutter is out of view, it's easier to breathe, easier to focus, and way easier to decide what to do next. What's great about this step is that it doesn't require much energy or decision-making. You don't have to think hard. You don't have to make choices about what to keep. You just pick things up and move. I do it with music on or while chatting on the phone or even with a cup of coffee in hand. Sometimes I even turn it into a little game with my kids. Let's see how many things we can find that don't belong in this room. It's quick, it's simple, and it makes a huge difference in how your space feels without needing to clean anything deeply yet. I've learned that when I skip this part and try to tackle a big mess right away, I get frustrated fast, because I'm still surrounded by little things that don't belong and they pull my focus away. But when I do this sweep first, everything else becomes more manageable. It's like my brain has more room to think. So don't underestimate this step. It's not about perfection. It's about clearing just enough chaos so you can move forward without feeling overwhelmed. One bag, one walk around the house, and suddenly you've got a cleaner canvas to work with. That's step 2. Give it 20 minutes and see how much lighter your space and your brain feels. Okay, now that the clutter is mostly out of the way, we're going to do something that makes a surprisingly big difference in a short amount of time. Step 3 is all about giving your key surfaces a quick wipe down. Nothing deep, nothing overwhelming, just the basics. This is the part I like to call making the house feel clean even if it's not perfect. Here's what I mean. You're not scrubbing baseboards or washing windows. You're simply taking 15 minutes to wipe the places your hands and eyes touch the most: the kitchen counter, the dining table, the bathroom sink, and maybe a few shelves or side tables that tend to collect dust. Think about it. These are the spots we see and use constantly. And when they look clean, the whole space feels cleaner. Even if there are still toys on the floor or laundry in a basket, your brain registers clean because the surfaces look fresh. What I usually do is grab a damp cloth and a basic all-purpose spray. If I don't have cleaner on hand, warm water with a little vinegar, lemon, or even just salt will do the job. The goal isn't to disinfect every inch. It's just to remove the layer of crumbs, smudges, toothpaste, splatter, or dust that's quietly building up and making the space feel heavy. I usually start with the kitchen counter because that's where I prepare food, toss mail, drop my keys. Basically, it's a magnet for stuff. I clear whatever's on it, give it a good wipe, and put things back more intentionally. Then I move to the dining table. Even if we're not eating there regularly, it still ends up with things: books, laptops, cups. A quick wipe makes it instantly more inviting. Next is the bathroom sink. I don't know what happens in there during the week, but somehow toothpaste, hair, and little drops of soap always end up everywhere. One quick wipe with a damp cloth, and it looks like someone actually lives here with intention. If I still have time, I'll do 1 or 2 shelves or side tables that tend to collect dust. But again, I'm not deep cleaning. I'm just freshening things up so my home feels lighter. And here's the thing: you don't need to do it all perfectly. You don't even need to do every surface. Just the ones that matter most to you. For me, clean counters and a wiped-down sink make me feel calm. For you, it might be your desk or your coffee table. What matters is that you're creating small pockets of done throughout your home areas that don't ask anything of you when you walk by. They're not yelling, "Wipe me," or "Why is this sticky?" They're just done, and that feels really good. So if you've got 15 minutes, this is one of the most satisfying steps in the whole routine. You'll see results instantly, and it's such an easy win. Especially if you're the kind of person who doesn't have the time or energy for a full deep clean, which, let's be honest, most of us don't. Step 3 is quick, low effort, and high impact. Give it a try and notice how your space and your mindset starts to shift one clean surface at a time. By this point, the house already feels a little lighter. The main surfaces are clean, the clutter isn't staring at you from every corner, and you might even be thinking, okay, maybe this isn't so bad. That's exactly when I move into what I call my one focus zone. Not a whole room, not an all-day project, just one small area that tends to get messy over and over again. I've found that picking one of these little hotspots and resetting it fully and intentionally makes the biggest difference. It could be anything. For me, it depends on the week. Sometimes it's my desk where papers and receipts have been piling up. Other times it's the fridge when I know things have expired and I can't even tell what we have anymore. There are weekends when my bag feels like a black hole full of snacks, old lists, empty pens, and just clearing it out feels like a reset for my brain. But here's the rule I always keep. I pick just one, not 2. Not as many as I can. Just one small area that would make daily life feel smoother if it were a little less chaotic. I set a 30-minute timer and go all in, but only on that one space. Pull everything out, wipe it down, look at what's actually useful, and let go of anything that's just taking up space. I don't try to organize it perfectly. I just try to make it work better for right now. The reason this step works so well is because these little areas have a big impact. They're the places we touch every day. And when they're messy, they add friction we don't even notice. Like digging through your bag for your keys, or opening the fridge and instantly feeling annoyed, or sitting down to work but needing to clear a pile of stuff just to see your laptop. But once that one area is reset, it shifts the mood of the whole space. More than that, it shifts you. You move through your home more easily. You're not wasting tiny bits of energy every time you walk past or use that space. And honestly, it just feels good to have one thing fully done. So that's your next step. Not 5 things, not every drawer. Just one messy zone that's asking for your attention. Give it 30 minutes. Clear it, wipe it, and make it simple again. Then stop. That's enough. After resetting one of those small clutter zones, there's usually one more thing that's quietly sitting in the background waiting for attention, and honestly, I used to ignore it for days. Clean laundry. I don't know what it is about folded clothes that makes us avoid them, but I've had entire weekends where I washed and dried everything, and then just let the clean pile sit there in a basket untouched. Sometimes in the hallway, sometimes at the foot of the bed, sometimes in a chair I stopped using because it had turned into a laundry zone. And what's funny is it's clean. It's already done. But for some reason, that final step of folding and putting it away feels like a mountain. Maybe it's because we're tired. Maybe it's because there's no space left in the drawers. Maybe it's just one of those invisible tasks we learn to live around. But here's the thing I've learned: when you finally fold and put away the laundry, the feeling is immediate. That corner of the room stops nagging you. You get to use the chair again. You stop digging through the basket every morning to find socks. It's such a simple task, but the mental clutter it clears is bigger than it looks. So in step 5, I do just that. I don't wash more clothes. I don't reorganize the closet. I just fold what's already clean and has been sitting around. I find a quiet moment sometimes with a show on in the background, or while I'm chatting on the phone, and I give myself about 30 minutes to fold and put things away. I don't worry about making everything look perfect. My shirts aren't Pinterest level folded, but they're back in the drawer, not scattered across the bed or floor. And that alone makes the room feel more settled. Sometimes if I'm really low on energy, I'll even set a tiny goal: just fold 10 items, or just empty one basket. And you know what? Most of the time, once I start, I keep going. Because folding clean clothes is one of those satisfying things where progress is so visible so fast. Another little tip that helps me while I'm folding: I take a second to notice what I don't actually wear. If something's been washed 3 times and still ends up sitting at the bottom of the pile, maybe it doesn't need to stay. That way I'm slowly decluttering while I fold without even planning to. So if you've got a clean pile waiting, don't let it follow you into next week. Give it 20 to 30 minutes today. Put things away, clear the chair, reclaim the space. It's not just about the laundry, it's about closing the loop, finishing something, creating a space that says, "This is done." And that feeling, it makes a difference, especially when the rest of life feels full of half-finished things. After folding and putting things away, there's usually this quiet sense of relief, like something has finally landed. But sometimes, right after that, I notice another layer of frustration. I go to put something in a drawer, and it's overflowing. Or I open a cabinet and everything falls forward. And I realize, maybe the problem isn't just what's out, it's also how things are stored. That's what step 6 is about: setting things up so they're easy to grab and easy to put back. Not perfectly organized, not color-coded or labeled with fancy tags. Just simple and functional enough that when you use something, you're not annoyed. And when you're done with it, it actually has a place to go back to. It sounds small, but this is one of the biggest things that's helped me keep my home from getting messy again too quickly. Because honestly, most of the time we don't leave things out because we're lazy. We leave them out because it's harder to put them back than it should be. I used to keep my most used cooking utensils in a drawer that stuck all the time. I'd have to pull it hard, dig around, then push it back in with force. And guess what? I never put things away. They'd just sit on the counter. Not because I didn't care, but because the drawer made it annoying. Once I switched them to a container on the counter, everything changed. Same tools, same kitchen, just easier. The same thing happened with my skincare. I had a bunch of products I liked, but they were all tucked behind other stuff in a crowded cabinet. So every morning I'd either skip my routine or leave things on the sink. Eventually, I cleared one small tray just for my daily items. Now it takes 30 seconds and I actually put them back. That's what this step is all about. Look around at the areas that keep getting messy and ask yourself, is this setup helping me or getting in the way? And if it's the second one, change it just a little. Maybe it's switching your tea or coffee mugs to a lower shelf so you're not stretching every morning. Maybe it's moving everyday shoes to a basket by the door so they're not always scattered. Maybe it's making space in the bathroom drawer so your hairbrush doesn't always end up on the floor. You don't have to redesign your whole house, just adjust a few things so the daily flow feels smoother. Think about where your hand naturally reaches. That's probably where the item should live. And you don't have to do it all at once either. I usually notice these changes when I'm in the middle of using something. Like I'll be making lunch, open the cabinet and think, why is the oil all the way back there? Then I fix that one small thing, one tiny shift, and it saves me from being annoyed every single day. So today, after you've folded laundry or tidied up one corner, just take a few extra minutes to look at how your things are arranged. Choose one drawer, one shelf, one category of items, and make it easier. Not prettier, just easier. Because the less effort it takes to put something away, the more likely you are to actually do it. And when everything's easy to return to its place, staying organized becomes a lot less stressful and a lot more automatic. By now, you've done a lot more than you think. You've cleared the visual noise reset. One messy zone, folded clothes, wiped surfaces, and maybe even made your daily spaces a little easier to live in. So for this last step, we're not going to do anything big. We're just going to make a small promise to your future self. Step 7 is simple: set a 10-minute reminder for Sunday night. That's it. Just 10 minutes, just once a week. It's not about cleaning the whole house before bed. It's about closing out the weekend with a small reset, one that makes Monday feel a little less like a mountain. I call it my Sunday night tidy. It's not a chore. It's a quiet moment. I put on soft music or just move around in silence. I walk through the house and pick up anything that's out of place. Empty cups, a hoodie on the chair, the bag that's been sitting in the hallway. I don't try to make it perfect. I just try to bring a bit of order back enough so that Monday morning feels like a fresh page instead of a pile of leftovers from the week before. It usually takes less than 10 minutes, but the impact lasts all week. And what makes it work is that it's scheduled. It's not a maybe. I set a reminder on my phone for around 8:30 or 9:00 p.m. every Sunday night. The notification pops up, and it gently reminds me, do a soft reset. Just seeing that helps me shift into the mindset of closing the loop, not starting something new. Sometimes I skip it. Sometimes I do 2 minutes instead of 10. And that's okay. This step isn't about perfection. It's about building a rhythm that supports you week after week. Because when Monday starts and your space already feels clear just a little, it changes everything. You're not walking into chaos. You're not cleaning up last week's mess while trying to start a new one. You're just stepping into a space that says, you've got this. So go ahead, set that reminder now. Give yourself a 10-minute gift every Sunday night. It's the quiet kind of care that makes real life easier. And that's it. You've made it through all 7 steps, and now your space is ready for the week ahead. It's not about perfection. It's about making it easier to live in and keeping things simple. With these small, consistent actions, you'll be able to keep your space feeling lighter and your mind a little clearer. But before you go, there's something exciting in the next video. I'll be sharing my approach to keeping things tidy throughout the week, starting with some easy tasks in the bathroom and other areas that tend to get messy. These are quick, manageable actions that help me stay on top of things without feeling overwhelmed. If you found these steps helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any future tips. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope these simple changes make your weekends and your week feel a little lighter. See you in the next video. Take care.